It's a great. Yeah, I'm gonna have to focus on some better metal next time. It's a great Wednesday, 11th day of October, 2023, in the year of the Most High God, as this humble servant known as me. Yo, check it. It's a great freaking day, and you, because we're all but physical manifestations of that one indivisible yet great source, which divided itself into trillions and trillions and trillions of different forms to experience all that is existence in time, this reality, with its multiplicity of different experiences, right? First D, second D, 3D, fourth dimension, fifth dimension, sixth, etc., etc., etc. I ain't that well versed in all those things, so I leave that to the overly wise. Yo, check it. Proverbs 11. Proverbs 11. Dishonest scales are an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. Dishonest scales are a disgrace. It's another word for abomination. A disgrace. But a just weight is everyone's delight. Imagine you go to a supermarket and you put a pound, or what you think is a pound, of sweet potatoes on the scale, but little do you know that the scale has been altered to overcompensate for maybe 1/8, right? An eighth difference. So instead of you getting a full pound, you're actually getting, how do I break 15 ounces and 23 and a half grams. So instead of getting a full, 455 grams, you're getting 15 ounces. Instead of getting the full pound, the full 16 ounces of your sweet potatoes, you're getting less than that. That would be upsetting. However minuscule, you're not getting exactly what you're thinking that you're paying for. And that's why dishonest scales are an abomination to source. Yet just weights is delight. Everyone loves an individual that is just. We all wish that we are dealt justly in life, and that we are treated fairly by others. That is our hope. We should not try to set our expectations, but that should be our hope. And we should always do our best to treat others as we would want others to treat us, or others to treat our loved ones. You get what I'm saying? Too often people go out of their way to do, deviant acts, to indulge in vices that are destructive to themselves and others, and they don't even consider that this wrong that they might be doing may come back, not to them, but maybe to their loved ones. When pride comes, then comes shame, but with the humble is wisdom. The integrity of the upright will guide them, but the perversity of the unfaithful will destroy them. Riches do not profit in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivers from death. The righteousness of the blameless will direct his way aright, but the wicked will fall by his own wickedness. The righteousness of the upright will deliver them, but the unfaithful will be caught by their lust. When a wicked man dies, his expectations will perish, and the hope of the unjust perishes. The righteous is delivered from trouble, and it comes to the wicked instead. The righteous is delivered from trouble, and it comes to the wicked instead. Sometimes we see, certain evils that kind of glance over certain individuals, and they come to some individuals that we might think of them or perceive them to be righteous, yet, you know, maybe those evils before them, because maybe behind closed doors they are not so righteous as they, you know, portray themselves to be. I know I can be a fuck up, you know what I'm saying? But some people tend to lie to themselves about how they mess up. You know, they put on this mantle of self-righteousness, yet when nobody's looking, they behave completely opposite in thought, in the emotions that they allow themselves to feel, and the sensations that they allow themselves to indulge in the and in the actions that they take when nobody's looking towards others, or even towards themselves. Maybe they might not treat themselves as they should treat themselves, yet they treat other people better, but they disrespect themselves, and they, you know, they do less for themselves than they do for others. A lot of people will spend 40, 50 hours a week, 70 hours a week working for somebody else, at somebody else's job, at somebody else's business, yet they won't invest 30 minutes or even an hour to themselves, to feeding their intellect, you know, reading, writing, meditating, to feeding their physical appearance, eating healthier, doing some physical activities to make sure that they reduce the possibility for stress, depression, boredom, anxiety to build up into their body, and to also keep their body in tip-top shape, so that whenever, you know, it is called upon them to do something that requires one to be fit and capable, they are ready, willing, and able to do so. You know what I'm saying? Protect their family, protect their friends, protect their loved ones, protect themselves. So oftentimes we can think that we are being righteous, when in reality we're disrespecting the fuck out of ourselves. We're shooting ourselves in our own foot. The hypocrite with his mouth destroys his neighbor, but through knowledge the righteous will be delivered. I know hypocrisy used to be not such a big thing, but I got called out on it, I think twice. Once around 15 or 16 by my younger brother. I told him to stop cursing, yeah, he was like, but you curse, bro. And I was like, And then by a lady friend at the time. And I had to go and look up, what does hypocrite mean? And I didn't like the definition. And so, you know, since then, I've always done my best to avoid being a hypocrite. You know? To not, just to avoid it. So, yeah, man. When it goes well with the righteous, the city rejoices. And when the wicked perish, there is jubilation. By the blessing of the upright, the city is exalted, but it is overthrown by the mouth of the wicked. He who is devoid of wisdom despises his neighbor, but a man of understanding holds his peace. A talebearer reveals secrets, but he who is of a faithful spirit conceals a matter. Where there is no counsel, the people fall, but in the multitude of counselors there is safety. He who is surety for a stranger will suffer, but one who hates being surety is secure. Where there is no counsel, the people fall, but in the multitude of counselors there is safety. Mentors and guides and individuals that embody the qualities and disciplines that, you know, are admirable and we would like to have in ourselves. Those individuals, even if we don't deal with them directly, can benefit us as counselors by simply listening to those individuals, whether it be in person or through YouTube. You know, some of your counselors might be long and gone. Some of the counselors that jive with your way, with your ways, you know what I'm saying? Whose voice jives with your way, with your ears. They might be long and gone, yet you can gain great wisdom and direction from them. I know one of mine, or a few, are gone. You know, Earl Nightingale, Jim Rohn, those individuals are long gone, yet I still listen to them. to this day. Dr. Miles Monroe, I still listen to those individuals. We are born male and female, but as males, we must become a man by choice. He who is surety for a stranger will suffer. Surety meaning he who makes promises. The yes man. The person that they come to you with a request and you are quick to say yes, okay, I'll do it. Yeah, without even taking into consideration if you will be free that day at that time, or if you won't be with family or doing some other business things that maybe you didn't even take into consideration to check because you were so quick to please somebody else that you assured yourself for whatever request they had of you. A gracious woman retains honor, but ruthless men retain riches. The merciful man does good for his own soul, but he who is cruel troubles his own flesh. The wicked man does deceptive work, but he who sows righteousness will have a sure reward. As righteousness leads to life, so he who pursues evil pursues it to his own death. Those who are of a perverse heart are an abomination to the Lord, but the blameless in their heart are his delight. Though they join forces, the wicked will not go unpunished, but the posterity of the righteous will be delivered. As righteousness leads to life, so he who pursues evil pursues it to his own death. As he who pursues evil pursues it to his own death. We have individuals that are willing to sacrifice their life to take the life of somebody else. They're willing to put their life on the line. They don't care. Their actions are so emotionally driven that logic and reason goes out of the window. And they're willing to risk their life to take someone else's life. Yet, as righteousness leads to life, there's individuals that are willing to risk dying to save somebody else's life. And oftentimes, the individual that is willing to risk death for life lives more so than the individual that is willing to risk life for death. I hope that makes sense. This was a thought that came to me a while back. It's like, yo, there's people out here that are willing to risk their life, risk dying to kill somebody else. Yet there are individuals that are willing to risk dying to save somebody else. And oftentimes the one that is willing to put his life on the line for life, for the chance of giving somebody else life, they live. You get what I'm saying? Yet individuals that put their life on the line with hate in their heart and with animosity, those individuals usually do end up losing their life. As a ring of gold in a swine's snout, so is a lovely woman who lacks discretion. This is one of my favorite ones. As a ring of gold in a pig's mouth, in a pig's nose, so is a lovely woman, a beautiful woman who lacks discretion, who doesn't know how to keep her mouth shut, that always wants to be sharing everything that she has done. We're seeing that today in all of these podcasts, in all these young ladies getting interviewed in the streets and asked questions that they are so willing to divulge, intimate things that they did, that they have done, that bring shame upon themselves and upon their family. A ring of gold, one of the most precious minerals on this earth, is like a ring of gold in a swine's snout. It's like a lovely woman who lacks discretion. No matter how beautiful she is, family, never ignore red flags. Never go into a whorehouse to find a wife. A whorehouse, a strip club. Don't be naive. Don't be gullible. Don't be stupid. Yes, you can turn a whore into a housewife, but why try? Why go through all of that trouble when daily millions of women come of age and are purer than those that are living and working in those places that only bring shame upon you? The desire of the righteous is only good, but the expectations of the wicked is wrath. There is one who scatters yet increases more, and there is one who withholds more than is right, but it leads to poverty. Yo, that verse goes hand in hand with what I had my little niece read today. And she actually questioned me about it. So it says, there is one who scatters more, yet there is one who scatters yet increases more, and there is one who withholds more than is right, but it leads to poverty. The generous soul will be made rich, and he who waters will also be watered himself. The people will curse him who withholds grain, but the blessing will be on the head of him who sells it. I had to read, 2 chapters from this book, The Prophet, by Khalil Gibran. And this chapter is Speak to Us of Giving. And I'll go straight down to where, she questioned. So I'll read a line before it. And there are those who give little of the much which they have, and they give it for recognition, and their hidden desires make their gifts unwholesome. There are those who give little of the much which they have, and they give it for recognition, and their hidden desires make their gifts unwholesome. We see that today also with this advent of technology. People out here doing good deeds, yet they are recording these good deeds. I understand if they were caught by somebody else, unexpectedly caught you doing a good deed, and you somehow found it on the internet. And it's like, oh shit, I didn't even know anybody was recording me as I was giving out this food, as I was doing these haircuts, as I was doing etc., out of the goodness of my heart. I was pouring into these cups that were half empty because my cup is overflowing. And somebody, by coincidence, caught me in the act. That's beautiful. And then she went to this one. And there are those who have little and give it all. And that kind of made her, I guess, think. Because I've mentioned, I've mentioned when they start trying to get on my nerves over certain things. I'm like, yo, listen, I don't have any bread. Like, all I have is 20. All I had yesterday was $20, and I took you guys and got y'all something to eat. Today I can't. Except, whenever I had to make those things. And I guess that made her think, because she was like, and there are those who have little and give it all. So she was like, Sosa, what does this mean? And I was like, there are those people that they don't have much, yet they do their best to do what they can with the little that they have, Selena. They give out of the kindness of their heart. And it went, these are the believers in life, and the bounty of life and their coffer is never empty. And she went to this other line, and she was like, there are those who give with pain, and that pain is their baptism. And that baptism word got her. She was like, what does baptism mean? And I don't know. So I try to explain that as best as I can. I was like, yo, baptism is what comes upon you, like what you earn. What is the meaning of baptism? But yeah, I couldn't explain it very well. But it's beautiful because I had this young lady reading about this. There are those who scatter yet increase more. And that's how it's going to be in life, as I told her. The more we give, the more room we make for more things to come into our life. Life already gave us everything that we're going to need. The breath of life, the intellect, or the capacity to develop the intellect, the capacity to develop our emotional discipline, the capacity to develop our willpower. These things is all that we need out of life. These three aspects of our soul. The opportunity to cultivate a soul so that we don't need any tombstone at the end of our days, because we make the memory of those we impact our tombstone, our resting place. Every individual that you impact through your life, through how you choose to live your life, that is your resting place after this physical vessel is gone. We are all born with a body. Not all are fortunate to be born with a soul. That's why there are individuals that, they behave in fashions that we say like, damn, he acts as though he had no soul. He's soulless. Graping and murdering and all these other molestation, all these vices that it's as though that individual had no conscience. He acted without conscience. She acted without conscience. It's because not everybody is born with a soul. Yet every individual, given the understanding, has the capacity to develop the soul, the child within, that Christ-like essence that is guided by the way, the truth, and the light of life, built up by virtues, qualities, morals, and ethics that develop the personality and the character, develop a charismatic and honorable individual, a charismatic personality, an honorable and moral character, to be housed within this amazing, fleshly technology that is capable of surviving on nothing but air, on water, on fruits. It doesn't need any meats. You know what I'm saying? That can vibrate in such a way and develop such a frequency that it can transmute his whole sphere of influence and inform, influence, inspire, illuminate, invite to positive action, incite the soul of every man, woman, and child that comes into their sphere of influence. He who earnestly seeks good finds favor, but trouble will come to him who seeks evil. He who trusts in his riches will fall, but the righteous will flourish like foliage. He who troubles his own house will inherit the wind, and the fool will be servant to the wise of heart. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and he who wins souls is wise. If the righteous will be recompensed on the earth, how much more the ungodly and the sinner? The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and he who wins souls is wise. Clarity is the first step to freedom and the achievement of your heart's desire. I'm reading from this book right here. Diane Cooper, Spiritual Law. A little light on the spiritual law. I had to read the last chapter. The last paragraph right here. Had to read that too. Speak clearly to the universe about your wants and needs. If you mumble or do not know what you want, you send a jumbled message to the great warehouse in the sky and may receive more surprising things you did not think you had ordered. Clear thoughts and intentions draw from the universe that which you require in your life. Never forget you are a master. It is your right to order what you need and to expect your order to be fulfilled. Clarity is the first step to freedom and the achievement of your heart's desires. Be single-minded, ladies and gentlemen. Be single-minded in what you want in life. Figure out what you want. Get a piece of paper and write down 101 things that you would want to do in this life before you go into the great beyond. 101 things or more. You get what I'm saying? You want to travel to Yosemite National Park in California. Hey, you want to go to the redwoods of California. You know what I'm saying? You want to go see the glaciers in Alaska and Antarctica, wherever it is. You want to travel to the Amazonian jungles in Brazil or Ecuador or Colombia, Venezuela. You want to go to Mexico. You want to walk up the southern border into the United States. You get what I'm saying? Whatever it is. You want to go sunbathe in the Mojave deserts. You want to travel to India. You want to go to Tibet. You want to buy a house in the Caribbean, a house in Central America, South America, the Middle East, Italy, Rome, Romania, whatever it is that you want to do. You want to fly a plane. You want to bungee jump. You want to jump out of a plane. You want to swim to the bottom of some ocean. Whatever it is that you want to do, write it down, family. You want to ride horses. You want to race horses. You want to milk cows. You want to make $100 million. You want to start businesses. You want to buy businesses. You want to open up orphanages, school, places of work for the least fortunate. You know what I'm saying? People with mental disorder, with Down syndrome, with autism, etc., etc., etc. Whatever it is that you have in mind that you want to do, you want to feed the homeless, you want to open up places of work that also house individuals that live in the streets and that gives them an opportunity to come in and shower and change and also do something productive so that they feel useful, and also feed them, and you want to help move them around. Write it down, but understand that none of this good stuff, none of these nothing selfless can be done unless we do something with ourselves first. We cannot pour into anybody's cup if our cup is empty. Fill your cup first. Fill your cup first. Get enough rest. Drink the water. Eat the right foods. Read the right books. Listen to the right people. Spend the necessary amount of time writing down and studying, and spend the necessary amount of time in silence, in silent contemplation and meditation, in visualizing, in affirming, and in giving thanks to infinite intelligence for the opportunity that you have to do all that you are able and which you can make yourself ready and willing to do at every moment of time and in every point of space, with the peace of mind, courage, and wisdom to act accordingly when necessary on your path in life. Other than that, it's been a real one. Been running my mouth for about 20 plus minutes. I think that's good enough. You have a great one. All of this will be uploaded to the tube just like it'll be on here. But it's been your guy, Sosa, aka Super Conscious Living, Super Conscious Thoughts. SCL Master Builder 333 of the 33rd degree, because we 33 this year. 33rd degree Master Builder. You are the master. You are the temple of the Most High. You are the temple of the soul of man. You are the Judah that must stop betraying the Jesus within, so that you may become king and reign over your kingdom. Alright? You are born with greatness. Everything is already within. You just gotta remove all of the lead and unnecessary vices and BS that has clouded your shine, so that that gold can come forth and you can, start pulling in all the jewels and gems that you're going to put around your necklace and your crown. All right, young masters, you have a great evening.